السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم افتح علينا حكمتك وانشر علينا رحمتك يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. اللهم ارنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وارنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم. والحمد لله رب العالمين. Now you can start. This is, we are reading from the seedbed of the light, another book that we are not accustomed to it, not the words, not the flashes. And the third treatise, there are several treatises, this is the third treatise from the book, just introducing to the life to follow it from live stream or video later on. So you can start.
Okay, so we're reading Arguments for the Resurrection. In the name of God, the All-Merciful, the All-Compassionate. All praise be to God, to whose necessary existence and unity all atoms and compounds of the universe testify with the tongue of their helplessness and poverty before God.
That's an interesting description of. Before settling down, you know what to do. Ask for bread or sir. Yeah. So it's a typical introduction to any text, which is the classical Islamic tradition. But what is important, every scholar who starts writing a book or writes a book, their introduction, their preface to the text is praising God and asking peace and blessings on the Prophet. What? It is not that simple. It's the Islamic tradition. That's why we can spend some time on it. Because in the classical books, almost with no exception, all scholars follow this tradition. While they are praising God, they transfer or express their understanding, conception of God, how they approach it. While they are also asking for blessings and peace on the Prophet, they usually describe in a way that how they see the Prophet, messengership. So even before reading this classical book, but I very much pay attention to it, I read first in the introduction, very preface of the book, how they describe God, how the author sees or approaches the belief in God, right? And what his understanding of messengership is based on. So it gives you the first impression of the comprehensiveness of the view of the author. So it is very beneficial. Now, this, of course, it is a short treatise, very short. It is just, I don't know, 10, 11 pages. So it is from Mesnevi Nuriya. So this is different. Look at now pay attention to the way the author praises God and reveals his understanding or perception of belief in God. What are the foundations of his belief in God? You can now deducted from the first sentence. Read it again and pay attention to it, how he really presents his perception of the concept of God. Okay.
All praise be to God, to whose necessary existence and unity all atoms and compounds of the universe testify with the tongue of their helplessness and poverty before God.
Did you get it? How his perception of God, how the perception of, I'm making a mistake, not perception of God, how he perceives the concept of God. What is the way that he follows in order to confirm the existence of God? It is revealed here. And it is a very important methodology. If you pay attention to it, you will understand this kind of approach we are going to follow. Okay. You know, of course you noticed, huh? He says, yes, I praise God, but who's God? Everything in creation, every atom, every composition of atom in the universe testifies with his tongue of their helplessness. What does it mean? They say that we cannot do it. I cannot own it. By disowning the qualities which are given on them or declaring that they don't belong to me, who do they belong to? That is God. Do you get it? This is the approach. From this sentence, we understand that he doesn't say, I praise God who created the universe and the Lord of the universe and earth and everything. No, just the other way around. I see that the atoms and compositions of the atoms, or how do you say, compounds of the atoms, not an atom itself, but they compound in different forms. All of them testify his existence. How? By or with the tongue of their helplessness. It means we cannot do it. For example, if you ask my cells, study cells, I cannot do what I am doing. It's not me. It's not me. So who is it then? Who is doing it? Then that is God. Do you understand? From the witnessed word to the creator or owner of the world. Okay. I think we understood it. So this must be, this is the principle of the methodology of the author. So I found it very satisfactory. Why? Because I don't have to imagine God. I don't have to think, I believe in God, but which kind of personality he has, what kind of essence he has, we don't know. And how can I know? How can I make sure that he created the world? How can I make sure? And who is he? How can I make sure? So this way is the methodology applied in the Quran. How the Quran presents God? Allahu la ilaha illahu. God, what is God? Who's God? There is nothing in this world which can have the deity, Godhead, God quality. It means creatorship. Then, who is creating then? That is God. So if you see that the verse is not describing God, saying that he's huge, he's big, or he's, I don't know, beyond the clouds, no. Just look at the word, you will see it, and you will see that their helplessness, their poverty, not the poverty, human poverty without enough money. It means I cannot provide the qualities which are manifesting in me. For example, my body says, I cannot shape myself. Get it? Because it doesn't know how to shape my hand, my head, my body. And my body says, I cannot be the source of the senses, human senses. My body says this. So where did I get them? The creator of this body and the creator of the qualities is God. So we don't say God is like this. We say just opposite. The one who is the source of existence of these qualities is God. You see, it is freeing, relieving our mind from trying to comprehend God. It is very essential to me, very essential. Okay.
Peace and blessings be upon his prophet, the discoverer of creation's secrets and the key to its signs of God's existence and unity, his fellow prophets and messengers, the angels nearest to God, and the righteous servants of God who live in the heavens and on earth.
How did you describe the prophet? What's the main characteristic of the prophet?
The discoverer of creation secrets, so someone who's kind of revealing the signs of God.
Yeah. Look, have you noticed the different description of the prophet that we hear from the prophet is the wonderful man, prophet is a very kind man, the prophet is very determined man for his cause. These are what we hear. Also, some personal qualities as a human being, not describing me, generally speaking, of course. The characteristics of his main mission. What are we going to expect from the prophet? What are you expecting from the prophet? To teach me how to fast, for example? No. That is the last thing. The primary thing to help me discover the secrets of creation. That's another different description of the prophethood, isn't it? Not very common, but there are scholars definitely go along on this line. But as far as we hear, we don't hear this kind of description of the prophet. Prophet means the one who discovers the secrets of creation. Have you ever heard of this kind of description? Now, it doesn't mean that everybody is bad, only we are good. No. This is the approach we have to concentrate on, and we have to establish our own understanding so that when I read the hadith, when I read the seerah narration, I would expect to get a discovery of the, no, it's not working. Yeah. Just play a little, move it. Okay, leave it. Okay. So, how this hadith narration, how, for example, this seerah narration helps me understand or to discover the secrets of creation. Have you ever read hadith with this in mind? I don't think so. That we read the hadith always, description of behavior or rituals. From that perspective. But this author says, no, there is another perspective. They are not wrong. But there is another perspective. If the messenger who is appointed by the creator of this universe is not going to help me to discover the secrets of this universe, what is his mission then? If I don't discover the secrets of this universe, this creation, all the rest become redundant. I don't know the secrets of creation, I am praying. I don't know the secrets of creation, I am fasting. What does it mean? I don't know what I'm doing, why I'm doing. There is no foundation. So it's a very small, short phrase, but extremely important. Methodologically, it is important. We have to struggle. It may be very difficult when you get a hadith book or sirah, a piece from the sirah narration, because we are not used to thinking along this line. It will be definitely very difficult. It was very difficult for me in my earlier period of life. Very difficult for me. I couldn't make sense of it. And I was trying to avoid reading hadith. It was, what does it mean? Why? It doesn't explain. When slowly, when you change your approach towards the understanding of the Prophet, what is his main mission? So what you do now, underneath the normal, as we hear, the hadith narration, description of an event, or asking, the Prophet was asking people to do this, not to do that, and doing something, whatever the hadith says. You have a good character. These kind of things are main themes of the hadith narrations. They are not wrong, definitely not wrong. But we have to go underneath it and see how it helps me to discover the secrets of creation. So that I will, when I discover the secrets of creation, I will attach it to the Creator. So through this discovery, I will get to know the Creator, as we studied on the first sentence. Do you get it? Which is extremely important to me. So your way of reading the hadith and sirah, and history, but history, I don't know, but sirah, the narrations, you benefit from it. I mean, not on the first day. So as a result of your studies of 5-10 years, so you get familiar with it and you start making sense of the hadith narrations. Otherwise, I don't know, in a desert area, a Bedouin came and had a relationship with the Prophet. Prophet said this, Prophet said that, and we get good etiquette, behavior from there. But do you think the Prophet's main mission is to teach us how to behave in this world? Main mission of the Prophet is to introduce my Creator to me. Main mission. So he will help me. How can I connect myself to my Creator? Yes, through good behavior, yeah, but why? There are other books and people who study, who advocate or help people to understand how to be a nice man. What is the difference in ethics? They study ethics, they study morality. What is the difference between a secular philosopher who is advocating good behavior and without spoiling your humanity, and the prophet's teaching? Is the prophet a person who came up who was employed to teach me how to behave in a good manner? No, this is the result. Fundamentally, the prophets are appointed to the people, any kind of people, whatever they are. All prophets are appointed because they completely disconnected themselves from God, the Creator. Then the prophet is employed. Always the prophets are employed to people when they totally disconnect themselves from God. They may say we believe in God, but God has nothing to do with my life. So the prophet is employed to reconnect them to God. So main mission of the prophet is to help people reconnect themselves to God. That's why this section is, this description of the prophet is important. How can I reconnect myself to God or connect myself to God? I cannot really climb up the heavens and go and see God. How can I do that? Anybody? How can I do that? How can I connect myself to God? Sorry? I don't hear you.
Prayers.
Why do you pray?
Connect to God.
But how? I mean, this is what you hear. But be careful. Okay, I'm praying. How can I connect myself to God? Prayer is a ritual. Ritual is the result of one's understanding. Look, I'm not blaming you. You are absolutely right because everybody says this. But rituals, prayer or other ritualistic activities are the result of your understanding, your conclusion. So what is your understanding? What is your conclusion? So that it will result in prayer. Prayer is the end product. But if there is no trunk and the root of the tree, branch means like dies. It means it becomes dry. No life, no spirit. Right? You are right what you said. Ultimately it's right, but no base. So how can I connect myself to God? The question is still there.
Through reflecting.
Reflecting on, sorry?
No, off his point, understanding oneself, understanding your purpose.
Yeah, how do you understand? That's correct. Continue. How do you understand yourself? How do you understand your purpose? How can you make it?
I think through like not only reflecting, but thinking about things in a bigger sense and like.
Yeah, thinking about the things the way they are coming into existence. And would you like to continue?
I was just going to add, I think, more to reflecting, like questioning as well.
Questioning.
The source of existence.
Yeah.
Sounds a bit cliche, but yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at.
Questioning the existence of anything, questioning the qualities of anything, the existence of the qualities of anything. How come that I can see? How come that I can think, I can hear, I can speak? What makes me speak? Or what makes me? to speak. What is the reason? My flesh? The flesh of my brain? It is very complicated. Yeah, but who made it? How it is organized perfectly. That I really live in this world in complete, perfect, compatible with the rest of the creation. So without thinking of the creation, it means without discovering the secret of the creation, I cannot become aware of God. But it will be a tradition. Yeah, Muslim tradition prays. Jewish tradition prays also in the synagogue. They go to synagogue, so you can pray at home as well. But a Christian tradition prays only by joining the Sunday Mass. And they may read text, but the foundation, why? Why do I do that? Now, that is the difference. So prophets come here to, if you like, to help us discover the secrets of creation. From there, become aware of the Creator, although I don't see it. I don't have to see it. I'm sure that this machine is a maker, but I don't have to see the engineer. So I'm aware that the engineer has made this machine, an engineer who can really make this one. So when I look at the universe, it is made, perfectly working. Who is the maker? Not the universe itself. It is made. It is a made thing. So what we do, whoever made it, it means created it, because universe is not made out of something that from here to there as the engineer does. Engineer uses the material from the already existing world. Takes this one from here, this one, and melts them, combines them, rearranges them. He doesn't really bring anything into existence by himself. He uses, this is very important, we use already existing things, we don't create. So even our mind, we use it, it is already existing. Our imagination, we use it, it's already existing. So we rearrange the things according to already existing order of the universe. We cannot establish a new order as we want. No, so everything is given by whom? Even my abilities are given by whom? Even what facilitates me to make the computer is given. Everything is given. Given by whom? Where? From where? Everything is perfectly done within a perfect order, and this needs a conscious maker. So prophet always, the mission, main mission of the prophet is to help me to discover the secrets of creation. It means what the secrets of creation means, what the creation refers to. What the creation refers to. What is the meaning of existence of anything? Which kind of function they are performing, and for what purpose? What purpose? The creation has no consciousness, no knowledge, no will, no wisdom. So they cannot really prefer anything by themselves. Any atom, any particle, which says, I want to do that, not that one. They have to obey the order. I like people taking notes. So I have to support them. Yeah, you take notes. You are old school, but you are. But I like writing by hand. They say, by the way, they say it is more effective, register in the mind and hand, and you are more concentrated. Whereas when you are typing, only your fingers work. When you get used to it, but when you are writing, you have to, anyways, you become, they say. So this description of the prophet, is essential, important, and we have to bear in mind, although we may not put it into practice immediately, right? Because it takes time. But at least see that there is another alternative to understanding what the messengership is. We will go into these details later on, but these phrases attracted my attention, and also somehow not very much accustomed way of understanding. Would you like to answer?
Yeah, no, I have a question.
Yeah.
You said earlier that before it was very hard for you to understand like hadith and surah without this way of understanding and thinking, right?
Trying to make sense of it.
Yeah, kind of.
For example, prophet says, be kind to your, very famous, your friend, your neighbor, or be helpful to orphans. Why? Why should I bother? Why should I bother?
Yeah. So what's the answer now to that?
Now when you read this hadith, you have to have a perspective that it is this advices of the prophet fundamentally are based on the secrets of creation, which means what the creation itself refers to. For example, let's make this practical example, very famous. Every day we give this example. It's practical. You saw a person, and this person is needy, and you know that you can help, and you are sure that this person needs your help. What do you find in yourself? What do you experience within yourself?
You feel bad.
Go and help, huh? Why? What is this? Do you have a sense? Where did you get it? And why does this sense exist in you? Question it. So look at the perspective changed now. While you experience the sense of help, you discover that you have a quality. And you are an intelligent being. It means as you are. Intelligent doesn't mean that educated. No, the created. Every human being is intelligent. But some people use their intelligence in this way or another way. That is something different. So you question, where did I get this sense? And you say, it is given to me. I found myself with it. And I didn't develop it by myself. I found myself with this sense already existing in me. Now, you go, okay, that somebody gave it to me. Somebody provided this one. Why? So you go and of course, the creator of the universe has created your sense as well. Whoever created you, who created you, why did he give you the sense of help? What is the purpose? So you start discovering the secret of the existence of this sense. And this sense shows that the one who created you is teaching you something. That, what is he teaching you? We usually think that, we reason on horizontal level. Now, it is ultimately practical, yeah, but we have to emphasize on the importance of vertical level. It means my sense is created and it has a creator. This creator is a conscious, wise being, must be, because I'm perfectly done here. So there must be a purpose in creating this sense in me. What is the purpose of your existence? He gave you the existence in order to what? There are, there have been billions of people helping and died, helped and died, helped and died. Am I given this sense to help and die and with no meaning? So my creation, okay, I'm here. I know I have a creator and I disappear. What is the purpose? The purpose of the creation in you points to the qualities of its creator. Who gave you these qualities? You are a conscious being. So conscious beings, what do? They question. So my creator is teaching me that he is the one who helps. This quality. He is the helper. So this is the word we use. Now what you did now, you discovered the secret of the creation, that you came to know who your creator is. So your humanity now attached to the creator. I have a creator who is the helper, and every human beings are given the same quality. Some of them prefer to use, most of them prefer to use. Some of them may prefer not to use because they have free will. But it is there. Now, for example, there is a person who needs my help. I prefer to help, or do I have to help? No. I go against my senses, reject it, neglect it, and turn away. Not to help them. But can I deny the sense of existence, sense of help in my existence? Impossible. Even I don't practice it. So it is a sign which introduces me who my creator is. Now I connect myself to the creator. What was the main mission of the prophets? To connect ourselves to our creator. So our humanity can only get satisfaction from what? At the connecting his existence to the absolute being. So helping other person, helping the other another person who needs your help is not the main purpose. It is the end product. So what we do usually from the people who teach ethics, morality, not like the prophets, what they do, help your fellow human beings, help your neighbor. Okay, I helped the man. At the end, he still dies. Yeah? I die. What is the purpose? Helping or not helping? Do you think God, the creator of the universe, could not help others, so he is using me as an agent? For example, he created me with this sense. He could create whatever he needed there and accomplish his need. Because he is the creator of the universe. That's what I understand. I conclude. Do you get it now? How we should read the hadith? One simple example. When the prophet teaches you, tells you that, go and help this man, he needs. It means while you are helping this man, your main purpose is to understand and realize that your creator is the absolute helper. That's how we should read the hadith. Oh, practically end result, end production is you go and help the man, but it's not point. But it doesn't mean that, no, we shouldn't practice it. Because I realize that my creator is the helper, absolute helper, the helper. I realize this, that's enough. And the main need is you have to practice it. While you are practicing it, what is expected of you? To experience this understanding. My God is employing me in order to let him know that he is the helper. So trust you, tie your heart, your human side, to him, saying that I have been created by a one, be careful, by a one, who is the absolute helper. So I can ask him to help me. He's the absolute helper. Your humanity now turns to the helper. Your physical body is connected to the man who needs your help. So your animality goes to the help, goes to helping the needy person. Your humanity recognizes God. That is what the main mission of the messengers. So it needs training. I have given you the most explicit. And Fatika, can you let this bag? So I think there is a man is more important than the bag to sit on the chair. You don't mind, do you? So I think you need some brownie, Fatih. Fatih, you need brownie with your coffee, huh? Yeah. Yes. Okay. Get one if you feel like it. Two. Did you get it? This is the simplest example. Not every hadith is that easy to understand, even if you have the methodology. Which methodology that we are learning here? But if you don't have this methodology, you will never realize. You will do it as a tradition, as a part of tradition, without realizing what you are doing, what are you expecting or experiencing. While you are helping the man, you come and tell your friend or I don't know whether you have children or wife, husband, whatever, say, no, you know what happened today in the subway? There was a man who fell down and no one really picked him up and took to the hospital, but I did. Huh? What happened? You didn't add anything to humanity, but you lost some values of humanity because you were arrogant. You were proud of the quality given to you by your creator. Own that. There is a hidden shirk. Are you familiar with the word shirk? Who doesn't? Okay, good. Hidden association of deity to yourself. I am a good one. It's dangerous, isn't it? Without attributing the source of existence to its creator and using it as a means of recognizing who he is and by whom you were created, doing the action may cause you loss. That's why it is very important. That's why we emphasize always on the creation side of anything, the source of creation. Always, we keep repeating almost the same thing. La ilaha illallah, every day, maybe 10 times. It means I am not God, but there is someone to whom I belong. With my own qualities. It's very simple, very basic. If you have the methodology, learn the methodology, then you can develop it, but it needs consistent study, concern. You don't learn it, by sometimes remembering it, it doesn't develop. You have to be serious. We have to be serious in our existence. Why do we exist here? Why? What is the purpose of my existence? So act according to the purpose of your existence. Otherwise, what we do, we follow the tradition, culture, and follow go with the flood or what is it? Go, the flow. Go with the flow. Yeah. Now everybody does this. I will do that. That's right. But it's not human. Only the sheep, I think, do this. You know, whatever the direction the flock goes, she doesn't even go there. Yeah, I mean, humanity is more precious than being a sheep. What about the flock we belong to? Doesn't matter. We may belong to a Christian flock, we may belong to a Muslim flock, we may belong to a Jewish flock. Doesn't matter. You are following the flow. That is what you are. It's dangerous, isn't it? It doesn't guarantee. If you grow up in an atheistic society, you follow the atheistic culture. Because it's not your choice. So we have to take it seriously. Get it? Simple example. Okay.
There is a fundamental.
Excuse me. Yeah, for the latecomers.
Second paragraph.
The second paragraph. Okay? From the second paragraph of the first page.
Right.
So, okay.
There is a fundamental, close relationship between the 6 pillars of belief.
Yeah, that is the main theme of today's discussion, actually. 6 pillars of belief have been connected to each other and also necessitates the others. Each pillar necessitates the other. And we will somehow go into the subject, inshallah, after finishing the paragraph.
There is a fundamental, close relationship between the 6 pillars of belief, so much so that one cannot be considered without the others. Believing in one requires believing in the others. Given this, without proceeding to explain the arguments for the resurrection, it is proper to expound briefly some arguments for God's existence and unity and the Prophet's messengership.
Now, they are interrelated. For let's say there is no God. I don't believe in God. Okay? Can I believe in the resurrection? There's no way. I don't believe the message that I hear from the messengers. Can I believe really in God? I will just guess that the universe must have a creator, but my life has nothing to do with this God, because I'm disconnected. Even if I say I'm created by God, oh, okay, He made it me. Now I'm independent being. So the Prophet connects, if you like, really it touches us, our life, our being, to our Creator. That's why we have to look at the prophetic mission as far as my relationship with the Creator is concerned. So don't reduce the prophethood to only teaching you what to do in this world. Well, in fact, if I prefer to use an extreme language, which is extreme, practically people cannot really digest it. Extreme language, go to the extreme end. Prophets don't teach how to behave in this world. what to do in this world. That's not their profession. Their profession, the main mission they accomplish is, while we are doing things here, how to connect ourselves to our Creator. While I'm doing this writing and looking at you, speaking to you, coming here, yeah. For example, I mean, listening to you and trying to understand you, and you also want to learn. Why do you want to learn? So the Prophet will say, which is a very common, again, narration from the Prophet, you have to learn. Knowledge is the basis of your being. Okay, I'm here to learn. Okay, you learned. What is the connection between me and my Creator while I am learning? I will learn. I will be a knowledgeable person. And what I will do, I will be proud of my knowledge. What is the mission we are expecting from the Prophet? Now, to teach me, while I am learning, I should be amazed at how a flesh and bone can learn something. Yeah? How come it exists? Learning. What does it mean? So you will be amazed at the work of qualities of your Creator while you are learning. So all the qualities given to us in order to know the one who gave me the qualities. So when we hear, very common, if you go and hear people speaking, preaching, or giving da'wah, they call it, yeah, they say, God created us to worship Him. How? Pray. Man, prayer is the result. I'm not saying these people are saying something wrong and they are not useful. They are encouraging. Of course, people need some incitements, motivations to connect themselves. This is very practical, but the foundations are missing. So Prophet says, learn. What should I learn? Okay, I learned, I became a Nobel Prize winner. And how are they called? Laureates? Nobel laureates? Is it right? So I am a Nobel laureate now. And I die. All my knowledge is erased. What was the point? What was the point? See, I died. So the Prophet's message makes me or connects me to my Creator in order to know Him and attribute every quality that I experience in this world to Him. Get it? So this is the purpose why the Prophet tells me learning, knowledge is important. Practice it. If you don't practice it, how would you know that you have the ability to learn? So you have to do it. So the difference between a prophet encouraging people to learn, to have knowledge, and a philosopher's encouragement of the people to learn knowledge. What is the difference? Philosophers, what do you answer? Philosophers encourage you to learn, accumulate knowledge and die. And finish. He was a great, how do you say, sage or great man, knowledge, man of knowledge. But he died. So the prophet's mission must be understood only prophetic perspective, which means the mission of the prophet is not to teach you that you have to learn and die. by doing these activities, you have to connect yourself to your creator. Become aware of the creator of this quality. So the more you learn, the more you appreciate the creator. This is worship. Otherwise, the other one could be learning, could be, and most probably is, self-pride and harmful. You see, that's why the methodology is extremely important. If we don't know how to handle with the matters related to religion, we think that we are learning religion, but we harm ourselves. Maybe, I'm not saying 100%, but we may harm ourselves. Depends. So you see some people are very religious, eh? They are proud of their religion. I'm not finger pointing anywhere, but they are proud of their religion and they want to represent Islam. They want to practice Islam and they go and kill people in the name of religion. And say that we are establishing the Islamic Sharia. No, he's so proud of it. This action, this establishing in quote unquote Islamic Sharia will end up where? In hell. But he said, I was trying to establish Islamic Sharia. It is very critical subject, very critical subject. So let's come here. Believe in God, let's say it, believe in the prophethood is directly connected to belief in God. So if there is no belief in God, there would be no belief in prophethood. If there was no belief in the prophethood, they would never believe in God. They may have a concept of a creator who created the universe. But this is not a denial. This is correct. We don't say that, no, there is no creator of this universe. This is correct, but this is not really what is expected from us to come to this conclusion, because if there is a creator in the universe, now how can I relate myself to him? Without prophet, I cannot do that. Prophet will establish this. So if you don't believe in God, if you don't believe in prophethood, messengership, there is no way to believe in the resurrection. Because resurrection means very fundamentally, which is our really ultimate purpose, if we continue the series of this discussion, we will come to resurrection. This is the foundation of coming to the resurrection. Yeah, the main title was Argument for the Resurrection. So if there is no God, if there is no prophetic mission, why should there be a resurrection? How can I have this idea? Right? So they are all, if there was no resurrection, again, if I don't believe in resurrection, could I believe in God as my absolute creator? Impossible. Because if if there is no resurrection, it means my creator is a tricky joke maker. How do you say? Is then playing with me. Do you understand this? If there was no resurrection, I would say, if I say there's no resurrection, it means my creator God has created me for nothing. He's a stupid God, or the creator, maker, for no purpose. Making the machine and throwing it into garbage, dumpster. He's a stupid engineer. So even you say there is a creator, there must be a creator who created the universe. Still, this creator is a stupid creator who created me with these senses, hoping, expecting a perfect satisfaction, and he just throws me into the earth and lets me rot there. So it's the contradiction. So they are totally, completely interrelated. All pillars of his belief are, inevitably interconnected. No way that, for example, I believe in God and I don't believe in the resurrection. What does it mean you don't believe in God? It's not God. It's not God if there was no resurrection. So if there is resurrection, but I don't believe in God, it is impossible to explain. Who's going to resurrect you? Nature makes you die if you think of the existence. Your existence from natural perspective, nature kills you and cannot resurrect you again. It doesn't have a free will. It doesn't have any choice. It doesn't have any knowledge. It doesn't have any compassion. And it doesn't know, nature doesn't know what you are feeling. Nature is ultimately very simple. Nature is your particles in your body. And this is also, particles also need to be created. They cannot come into existence by themselves. How about the combinations of these particles? As I am, as a human being now, as I am. Particles cannot make me. They have no choice. They have no will. So we understand that if you don't believe in God, there is no way. If you don't really realize who God is, there is no way to believe in the resurrection. If you don't believe in the resurrection and understand what resurrection is, you cannot believe in God. Your belief in God is just a rational conclusion that this universe must have a creator. That's it. Nothing more than this. He doesn't know me. He doesn't know my expectations. And of course, we have to analyze ourselves. We should never, ever forget that. We cannot really develop any idea unless we think of ourselves. Not the selfishness, our existence and the existence of the qualities which are given to me. If someone doesn't think of existence of things, he cannot develop anything. He cannot be a human being to me. We say in our discussions repeatedly every time, never ever take existence for granted. Question it. But you have ear, huh? So where did it come from? What is the source of existence of my ear? You have the quality of hearing and analyzing. What is the source of existence of hearing? What is the source of existence of what you hear? It makes sense to you. How? What is the source of existence of this quality that we have? You speak, I understand. What is the source of existence of this? So we should never, ever take existence for granted. Every thinking, every reflection, every contemplation must start with existence. So those people who don't want to admit or who don't want to admit the Creator, who deny the Creator, they never talk about existence. They take the existence for granted. That is a very fundamental matter. They say, molecules are acting in this way. What is the source of existence of this action? Who is responsible for it? Who can do it? My particles? Well, they never go to the existence. So, on the contrary, if you want to understand what the truth is in this life, you should always start with the existence. Now, my finger exists. You have to start from there. Don't say that I have fingers. Now, they are perfectly working. So, how are they working? What is the existence of the movement of my fingers? Senses, or nerves, or what is the existence, the source of existence of my nerve system? What are they? So we are indoctrinated. We should be very careful. We are indoctrinated with the materialist way of thinking. In our understanding of the world, in our understanding of human life, even, be careful here, in our understanding of religion, we are secularists, materialists, because we turn religion into a material thing. What do you mean? By, for example, help your friend. It's a material world action. And only at this level. This is not religion. This is a humanitarian action. Any atheist humanitarian also does the same thing. He doesn't have to have a belief system. What is the difference then? That is religion. The difference is religion. So in order to not only say, I don't have a materialistic interpretation of creation, so I am a believer. No, you have to be careful. Your religion, your belief may be based on materialism. That's very essential. So that's why we have to think about the foundations of our religion. What did I get? Where did I get this idea? If I was born into another culture, I would be following that culture. Why? But we are right. If we go and speak to a Jew, he will definitely say, but we are right. Why don't you go and think about your truthfulness of your religious sources, for example? Whatever it is right. I know, I'm sure. And we do the same thing. Whatever it is, the Quran is right. Islam is right, I'm sure. What is the difference between a Jew claiming that he is sure that he is right, and a Muslim claiming that I'm sure that I'm right? It's a very reality, but people don't want to be serious. It's a serious matter. We are here for a temporary base. We are here today. A few years later, we will go. And this, if you like, is it the right word, probation center? Is it right? Yes. We are prepared. We become a better person.
I think the word you used a couple months ago at class was training.
Training center. Yeah. We are here, whether we train ourselves or not. Taken for granted religion doesn't train you. Makes you imitate. Imitate your culture. Doesn't train your humanity. what we can do, the importance of this understanding of religion. You don't have to be disappointed and said, I thought I was a very religious man. But apparently I wasn't. Really, I wasn't. So what shall I do now? Shall I deny everything? No. Be careful that we learn. We have to learn that religion cannot be taken for granted. You have to establish from the scratch, and it needs seriousness, consistency. Otherwise, you say, we are Muslims, mashallah, alhamdulillah. The others say, we are Christians, mashallah, alhamdulillah. They say, thank God. It's a blessing for me to be a Christian. Go and speak to Christian people. They say the same thing as we say. Okay. Go to the page 2. Turn the other way up. Back up. So that's why before studying the resurrection, the author says we have to briefly summarize the existence of God and his unity. Why? Because that's what we have been talking about. Without establishing the existence of God and his unity, whatever it means, it is not easy to say there is one God, it means nothing. Really, it means nothing. So we will think about what the unity of God refers to. We will discuss this, but he will summarize it. He will summarize it. What we will do while we are reading, we will pay attention to the methodology, not information. Information, you can take the text and read at home. You can get a general idea. But if you notice that, for example, if you have read, most probably, I'm generalizing it, if you have read these 2 paragraphs at the beginning, do you think you would ever realize that this author is really introducing something very important for us? No. So that's why we spend a lot of time on drawing the attentions to the methodological differences, so that we will, inshallah, develop our own methodology. Learn, inshallah. Okay.
All right. Some arguments for God's existence and unity. Know, O friend, that those who follow naturalism and adhere dogmatically to causality, find the door of thanksgiving to the Creator closed, and the door,
Door of thanksgiving closed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me read it again.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
You can read again and again.
Yeah. Naturalism and adhere dogmatically to causality, find the door of thanksgiving closed, and the door of associating partners with him opened. Associating partners with, unbelief in, and ingratitude to God are based on a foundation of impossibilities.
Yeah.
For the one who creates a fruit with all of its art and meaning can create and govern earth.
Now, what's happening here? So are you comfortable with the text? Do you really understand what the text is teaching or establishing? By reading and understanding the words doesn't help. We have to pay attention to how the author is introducing something to us. Now, come back to the beginning of the sentence.
Oh, you want me to read it again?
Or not. Read, but does not necessarily reading, really.
Okay.
Critical reading. Critical reading means not criticizing. It's a good word, criticizing. We have to criticize the sentence, or the text. But usually, the word criticize understood in a way that we have to find out the faults. That's not the way of what the criticism is. In fact, criticism is to read the text or to look at the man or the person and see what is good in it, what is bad in it, and make a balance. So when we say that the Quran, for example, or the Bible, if someone follows the Christian tradition, let's say majority of the people follow Islamic tradition, so let's speak about the Quran. We say, yes, for worship purpose or supplication purpose, you read the Quran while you are praying. That is different. Now, when you want to read the Quran, you have to read it critically. What does it mean? Ask the words, ask the sentences. What do you mean? Why do you tell me this? Try to understand the text. That is critical reading. Critical reading, people understand that, they say, we are Muslims, we believe in the Quran as the word of God. Okay, and how can you criticize God? It's not criticizing in this sense. Critical means trying to understand what is lying in the text. If you like, reading between the lines. Now, what is really what the text is teaching you? But you may not understand everything, but of course, we gradually develop. So you understand one thing, second reading, another thing, it discloses itself as you develop your ability. It is there. It is the same thing. The text is the same text. But if you develop your ability, you understand better. Text is the same text. Do you understand? We don't expect the text which that it will disclose to me as I read it and read it and read it. The text is there. The text is fixed, static. But the meaning depends on your capacity to understand. For example, take a technical book, a medical book, which is studied, let's say, at the last year of medical studies. No, in the first year, when you get the book, what do you understand? When you read it, nothing. You see, talking about the heart, the cardiology book, for example, talking about the heart and how it works and what it is. But we don't understand really. But if you study first year, second, third, fifth, and sixth year, at the end, what do you do? The text discloses itself to you. But the text is the same text. You change it, the text didn't change. So scriptures have to say some sort of characteristics. If the scripture is really true as it claims to be. For example, if the Quran is really true as it claims to be, what does it mean? It says, I am the word of God. I come from the knowledge of God, infinite knowledge of God. That's what it says. Then it is expected to satisfy you at every level, because every level of your existence is created by the same God as he speaks in the Quran. So the knowledge, the text, the letters are fixed, but the meaning transferred to you is not fixed. The more you develop, the more it exposes itself to you. The more you question, the better answer it gives to you. If you don't question, it means if you don't read the text with criticism, critics, you don't question. If you don't question, you get no answer. So you become static. If you are static, the text is static, meaning is not with you. That's the problem. You know, we have to have a special session for how to for this, how to read the Quran. It is very important and very essential subject. So we don't usually in the. I'm not accusing any of you, but in the atmosphere, I say in the air, we hear from people who are speaking on behalf of religion. They don't really teach how to read the Quran. When you say teach me how to read the Quran, they will teach you how to read the alphabet. That is one way, but this is not what we mean here. We have to know how to read the Quran. So, why did we go into this subject? Reading the Quran. Just summarize it. Text is there, meaning is there. The text, the meaning exposes itself according to your capacity. And your capacity develops according to your questioning. It means critical reading. Critical reading means ask them, why did you tell me this? And you go home and let's say you share the apartment with another person. And the person, as soon as you came in, you said, Salam alaikum, or whatever the language you use. Okay, alaikum salam. It was horrible, it was horrible. What does the person do to you? Questions you. What's horrible? And something happened. Why do you tell me this? Questioning. As you carry on questioning, the man explains further. This is the nature of the Quran or the scriptures in general, that they are expected to answer your questions. If a text fails to answer your question, this text is coming from a limited source. Quran says you can question. You can get every answer to your questions from me, because my source is not limited. So text-wise and meaning-wise, that is the claim. So don't worry about questioning the text, but don't hurry jumping into the answer. Saying that the first, when you read the text may sound something completely contradictory to your expectations. We are not in the subject, we deviated it. Completely, you may find that the text is speaking to you completely from another perspective that it doesn't make sense to you. What are you going to do? First, you say A, text says B. Now, text is there. Text doesn't change. Don't worry about it. You try to check yourself. When I said A, although text says B, completely different thing. Is my A coming from a legitimate source? or from the culture, from civilization. The values of the civilization, without realizing, we imitate and we indoctrinate ourselves according to the values of the civilization. We say, for example, I have to do this. And for example, I have to, not specific example now. I have to do something special. Why? Think about it. You got it from your culture. And you indoctrinated yourself, conditioned yourself with this culture. That's why you don't question, why do I do this? Everybody does it. No, I am not a sheep. Everybody does it. None of my business. I have to be satisfied. Question the values you have inherited from the civilization, conditioned you. Question it. And then come back to the text. Text is there. The text doesn't change itself. Yeah, the Quran is there. It doesn't change itself. And read the text again after questioning your own understanding, which is inherited from, from the civilization, outside civilization, because we are practically very much prone to imitating the majority. Right? That is why certain Muslim communities don't want their members to get in touch with other groups, with other civilization. Come and stay with us, stay in our community closed. Why? Because we are prone to imitate the larger society. And they want to make the conditions of the larger society to themselves, to their own community only. That's why they don't want you to go somewhere else and experience it. Most of the people do it definitely with good intention. I don't blame them. But we have to question, if I have a value, where did I get this value? Is it really my conclusion, or I have adopted it from the larger society? That's why the communities, certain communities, don't want their members to go out of their society. The condition, because they believe that their values are correct values. Right? If someone has a problem when he reads a verse from the Quran or Hadith, from the Prophet narration, the first thing he has to do is to question the validity of his own idea, whether it is a result of my own conclusion or I have adopted it from the outside world. First, question yourself. And then go back to the text, you will understand that I have conditioned myself without realizing. So, the time is getting tight, so come back to here. Read the text again, critically. That was the point why we deviated into this. Read the text critically.
Okay.
So why do you tell me this? Yeah? What are you expecting me to understand from this word? Okay.
Know, O friend, that those who follow naturalism and adhere dogmatically to causality.
Now, who are they? Those who follow naturalism and consequently adhere dogmatically to causality. What does it mean? Why do people who follow naturalism has to be dogmatic?
Has to be what?
Dogmatic. Yeah, because dogmatically they adhere to causality. the main source, main reason to adhere or in adhering to causality is dogmatism. What is dogmatism? Dogmatically decide about something without being aware of the legitimacy of this idea and preserving it. It happens in both sides. For example, those people who cannot explain the existence dogmatically ignore the existence, said, I'm not going to because I have no answer. Right? Because I have no answer. So existence is existence. It is, the things are there. That's it. I found myself here. That's it. They don't question this source of existence of what they are experiencing in this world. That is dogmatism. They don't want to question, run away from it. Right? They are bound to do this because they don't have answer. How about the dogmatism of those people who claim to believe? Right? What do they do? This is our religion. Our religion must be right. Right? That is the flip side of believers' dogmatism. They say they are believers. They are not deniers, correct, and I appreciate them. But we have to overcome dogmatism. Whether as an atheist or as a believer, it doesn't matter. We have to overcome dogmatism. By how? How can you overcome dogmatism? Questioning. It's very simple. Being critical to yourself. Being critical to yourself doesn't mean that you will be living in a completely unsettled world, very hesitant world. I don't know what am I. No. Being critical to yourself and ask questions. If you have a satisfactory answer to your question, that's it. If you don't, investigate it. Don't be suspicious. Don't live in the ocean of doubts. Critical reading is not being doubtful. It doesn't mean that we have to be doubtful. What do you mean? Am I doubting your friendship? When you came home, go back to the beginning, you said, it was horrible, it was horrible. For example, you answer, what was horrible? Am I doubtful about you? Your sanity or something? Rationality? No, I'm questioning what you really mean by it. It was horrible, I said, or the person said. Right? So being doubtful is different from being critical, questioning. Yes.
I think a problem that one can run into when being critical of the text, the Quran, is that oftentimes it seems like even if you're critical of the text, the conclusion you come to should be what the text says.
What the text said, look, you are contradicting yourself. Why? What the text says is what you understood from it. Not the text says. That's your understanding. So you cannot say that the text is definitely says this. No way to say that. Everybody reads the text and understands it according to his capacity and then says, text says this. Text doesn't necessarily say this. That's what you understood from the text. That is very fundamental in logic anyways. So if you don't have this understanding, you cannot read the text. You have to read the text and, I think we have to study or refer to it from time to time on many occasions. While you are reading the text, never claim that what you understood is equal to what text says. Impossible. That's your interpretation.
Because there is no such thing as, the text says.
Text is the paper.
Right.
and some signs on it. You will read it, you will understand. It doesn't mean that your understanding is wrong. No, but say that this is my understanding. Don't say the text says this. This is a very dangerous attitude. What the people we hear now, the Muslims, Christians, Jews, they say, oh, according to the text.
Yeah.
No, you have to be modest and realistic.
Mhm.
According to my understanding from the text. It is very essential.
So the text, to me, it sounds like the text should be read or viewed almost more so like a work of art than
Yeah.
A manual that strictly says do this, do that, do that.
But I understood read it as a work of art. That's perfect example to me. But I didn't understand what is manual.
Well, manual says take the screwdriver, put it in the, turn this, or, turn this
No.
and then lift
Now,
this.
I understood.
Yeah.
Thank you for explanation, but this is very essential. God doesn't speak to you as far as your relationship with the other objects in the world. God speaks to you as far as disclosing his reality in your understanding, helping you to understand who your creator, who your creator is, what is the purpose of your existence, how do you make sense of your existence. God's teaching is related to practical examples or practice, but the purpose is not the practice. Practice is the end production. The purpose is, while doing the practice, what are you expected to become aware of your reality? So we usually, what's in the air, we usually read the text as a manual. I know it's wrong. Manual, but if you said, but I was expecting you to say this. If you said, manual in understanding existence, in understanding my purpose of existence, purpose of my life, that would be correct. But physical actions, no.
Yeah.
Did you get the difference? Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So perfect. Alhamdulillah. So text is there. Text has a purpose. For example, a manual, well, I don't know how to repair the car, is related to you and the car, not the purpose of the maker of the car, and purpose of your using the car, your intention, your awareness. No, to teach you how to really manual, how the car, manage with the car to use it. Whatever you want to do, it's up to you. Manual doesn't tell you that don't go to the casino with this car. Doesn't tell you this. But just reverse is correct. That's all. Now, just reverse is correct. Scriptural text, particularly Quran, just speaks to you just in the opposite way. Doesn't teach you how to use the car. Teaches you the meaning of the existence of car, meaning of your need of car, and using your human qualities as related, connected to the creator of the car, creator of your need, creator of you, become aware of who you are. It doesn't teach you how to use the car, because any driver's teacher, driver's lesson, there are some offices, they teach you how to drive. God doesn't have to become a driver's teacher. Doesn't, because you can learn it here. He has already given you this guidance within your own innate existence. But what you don't know, why you should drive a car, or why do you exist with the need to drive a car? What is the purpose of this existence? That is what is expected from a text or from a scripture. So another main principle in reading the Quran, if you read the Quran as a manual book to teach you how to drive, you get nothing and you become a bigoted man. And you are a very good candidate for ISIS. Yeah. They're very good because they just say, that's what the Quran says, I'm going to apply. But they don't say that this is my understanding and the Quran's purpose is some completely different. The Quran cannot be read in this way. The Quran is not the manual, driving manual. So we have to know when, of course, we have to refer to this kind of subjects from time to time because we have good intention. Yes, you have good. That's why you are here. I don't know how far you have been driving, or 1 hour, 2 hours, maybe. So you are here. Welcome. But at least it must be worth it to learn something new. Yeah. Otherwise, if you keep hearing the same rhetoric, why bother? So we studied now, dogmatism is the source of naturalism. Dogmatically, they say the universe exists as it is, and there is no need to question its existence. Now we have to learn how it works. Right? Like a machine. You know, somebody made the machine. I paid $1,000. Of course, they didn't pay anything to the universe, but they got, this is the machine, and they say it is good for your communications, IT purposes, and information technology, whatever you want to use. Then let's learn how to use it. They never question, where did I get this? So dogmatism lies there, and other end of the dogmatism also is important for us. We should not be dogmatic in religious matters. Impossible. What we have to do, yes, there is the culture, there is a civilization, the religion, Islam seems to be correct. Of course, everybody says, my religion seems to be correct. And now what I have to do now, question it. Start questioning step by step. Don't expect that you are going to solve the problem in one day. Just to become a mechanic, you have to work maybe 10 years of experience, let alone the solving this secret mystery of this creation. It is a training lifelong. So we shouldn't say, I'm a Muslim, alhamdulillah, I will go. As long as I follow rules, I will go to paradise. Okay, I'm going to follow the rules, I go to paradise. What's the difference between you and a Jew following his religion sincerely? A Christian, a devout Christian, practicing Christian, he says that as long as I do it, I will be saved. So we have to have a satisfactory answer that is getting out of dogmatism. Inshallah. Of course, we will have many, many examples, but we have to be patient. So, as a result of dogmatism, inevitably, a person who has this dogmatism in a certain direction, of course, this person has to end up with defending or believing in causality. There's no other way. But we will discuss this causality. I'll mark here causality aspect of it next Saturday. We have to stop here. Thank you. I feel that we have, Alhamdulillah, God blessed us with some important points. We have to think about it, but don't try to become a doctor in one day. No, so, but we have to be on the way, step by step, slowly, but we have to be consistent. Yeah, when this is a serious matter, really, this class is a serious class to me. Very serious class. It's not simple, is it? Is it? No, yeah, that you are correct. So we have to take it seriously. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين بحرمة سر السورة